Alright, looks like we are ready to go. Just get a couple more things going here, and we are live. Welcome to Retainer Designer number 26. Today we're doing a Nance button. This is falls under the category of fixed and space maintainer. This is what's going to be so a Nance button, fixed space maintainer. This is probably a bread and butter of most orthodontic labs. So if you're an orthodontic lab or starting up one, this will be a good video for you to learn how to do one of these. Not only can you market this to orthodontists, you can also market it to pediatric dentists. They use a lot of these. And what Nance bite plates. Let me say what that is. A Nance bite plate is something that is used for, let's see, fixed space maintainers. I did have a live stream on that. I think it's number 17. I did a fixed bite plate. So that's an alternative version of this. Oh, I see Steve Zara on, but I can't hear him. Let me see if I can get my headphones on here. Hello, Steve. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I just see his face. We are experimenting with a new thing. I'm trying to bring him on, and it's an audio issue I'm having. And let me see if I can get my... Okay. Okay. Steve, can you hear me? No. I can't hear him. He might... Oh, he turned off. So, obviously, I'm having issues trying to hear Steve. Maybe I can figure that out as I go. But back to the Nance button. It is an appliance that is easy to make. If you've got a new technician, you can have them watch this video, and he or she might be able to pick it up pretty quick. It's just one wire and a little thing of acrylic used to maintain the arch length, which is here. Now this is not a usual case. Usually you have bicuspids here, or baby teeth here, and I have Steve, but I can't hear him. And it's my fault. It's me, not you, Steve. It's me, not you. I broke something. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. So I broke something. I can't hear you. No, let me go into my settings here. Microphone, speakers. All right, Steve, can you hear me? No. Of course, my microphone should be cam link. Yeah, headphones. Built-in headphones. Man, I don't know what's going on here. Alright, maybe we'll have to figure it out after I bend this. Alright, so I'll use a 036 wire. Gotta turn this off, it's a bad echo.
Steve, you able to hear me? You can hear me? Yes? Alright, so I'll make a little uh, V shape here. And I think I did that off screen. Let me do that again. So I just take regular 036 wire. I make it just a little V shape, like this, like this, like this. And that's where I always start my Nance buttons with. And then I'll take my things here, bend it up to where it fits into the roof of the mouth. Now, how this works is the Nance will fit into the roof of the mouth and will keep these molars from drifting forward. And what I was saying before was, usually this is a different case, usually these are missing or they're baby teeth and are about to fall out, and the doctor knows these don't grow in for a couple years, so they'll put a Nance button in and keep these molars from driving forward. And so that way it will keep these back and maintain the space, so it's considered a space maintainer. In this case, I think this doctor is trying to close down space. They're going to pull these teeth back, collect space, but do not want to move these molars forward as they go.
Steve's tapping the screen. I still can't hear you. I don't know what I did wrong. I broke something. Steve and Jay are on. I think they can hear me, but I can't hear them.
Alright, so I am adapting this. Let me get my other screen up. And let me cut this wire. Okay, Steve and Jay, if y'all can hear me, after I solder this and sprinkle it and get it in the pressure pot, I'm going to try to fix. I'll pause the live stream for a little bit, and then I'm going to try to fix the audio issue so I can bring you on, then we can talk, see what's new with everything. Okay. So all I'm doing is adapting it to the contour of the mouth. I don't want this to touch because I'm going to put a little acrylic button down here at the roof of the mouth, right on top of the rugae. Yeah, Steve, go ahead and pick your nose now since you're not on camera. Oh wait, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Oh, I should have switched the camera over right then. I'm getting in trouble. Oh, Rodrigo Cardenas. Hi, it would be cool for you to do a list of the brands of the products you use for your retainers. Oh, yes. I try to announce them as I go. My wire I get from JBC and Company. My acrylic I get from JBC and Company. I also have started an Amazon store where some of the products I use are listed there, so you can actually click through. I believe it's in the description below. But that's a good idea. That might be a good video to do coming up. You can't hear me? Am I too low?
Oh. There he is. You can't hear me? Am I too loud? Okay. Alright, turn it way down. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, I have it maxed over here. Here we go. That should help a little bit. Also, I forget I have a mic clipped to my shirt collar, and I test the mic looking straight up. But then, as I'm talking, I'm looking down while I'm working. Alright, so I got this pretty much where I want it. Like I said, these are really easy to bend, even when you're distracted with audio issues. So I have it just barely off of the palate, the roof of the mouth. I'm going to scuff up my solder joint here. I'm using this Z-base stuff with accelerator just because I'm going to solder this. Let that set up. Now I'm positioning it while it sets up so that it doesn't touch the roof of the mouth at all, because I don't, and that it's at where I want it on the bands. There we go. Looks good to me. That's ready for solder. So like I said, this is a great starter appliance for starting new technicians, if you're hiring new technicians. I'll try to edit this video down to a nice, easy, something to watch that your technicians can watch. So put some flux on there, put some heat shield on, because yeah, Frank is asking, I just want to ask you about the last video post, the solder you're using. It seems to me like the solder you're using electric solder. Well, not that I know of, it's just regular solder. Rodriguez wants me to do a video on the Hyrax McNamara modification with hooks. And Jay, he's for petite facement, thank you very much. I'll look into that. I don't know if I get a question about a McNamara Hyrax. I think I looked it up on Google and it looks like a bonded lingual, I guess with face mask hooks. Get some heat shield. Alright, let's get to soldering. And I was going to show Steve this if he could talk. This is my solder I got. It's 1/16, and I think Steve said that he likes thicker than this, but man, this is pretty thick for me. But I like it for the molar band ones. I do like the thicker ones for molar bands. It's just those soldered C's. I like the thin stuff. Okay, I'm going to try to turn off the light here. I can't even see my flame. But yeah, Frank, this is some thicker stuff. I did order some from Steve's Amazon page, some solder. It hadn't come in yet. Try to leave some light. I usually like the light off so I can see the flame. Spread that solder around. Once that stuff gets... Can't see my flame in this light. I like to do my solder in such a way that I don't have to trim it very much. So I noticed Steve, I don't know if Jay does this too, leaves his wires long on his RPEs and just clips them off. That's another method of doing. Creates for some fast wire bending, that's for sure. I think we had a Wire Wednesday where he's showing how he did it on using a spot welder. Feather, feather, feather. So you can either spend your time cutting your wire, trimming it down, then tacking it down in the perfect spot, or you just tack it, solder it, and trim it. So you either spend more time on the trimming or spend more time on the prepping. It's up to you, whichever you like. Some people like to solder more. Alright, so that's solder. That's ready for acrylic. I'm going to run to the steamer real quick and steam off this heat shield. You can also recycle heat shield. Let me show that. Take the good side of this. But heat shield's pretty cheap. I can't remember if Steve has this stuff on his Amazon page or I do. You'll have to check out one of his videos. Be right back. Sorry if that was loud. Also, trying to let it cool down. I've learned the hard way that you don't want to sprinkle acrylic immediately after soldering because your model's all hot and it makes your solder set up fast, or your acrylic set up fast. But let me get my... Alright, so the acrylic part. This is a great appliance to teach people about acrylic, because all you're doing is making a little circle like this. That's it. So at the lab I worked at, this was one of the appliances that new technicians started on. I can't even imagine how fast Steve and Jay can pop out these Nances like this. Now you want this button to be big enough that it doesn't impinge when it... I mean, it's going to be pushed forward into the mouth, so you want it broad enough, give it more surface area so it doesn't have a pinpoint push onto the palate. Makes it more comfortable. Yeah, it's already starting to set up because of the heat of the model. But that's about it. You can spend your time trying to make this perfect, or you could just sprinkle a big blob and then trim it all down later. But
let me put this in the pressure pot and then I'm going to pause the live stream and try to get Steve and Jay on so they can hear me, see if I can fix it, and then join us for the after party. And we'll start. Oh, I just paused. Okay. Yeah. Join us in a little bit, maybe about 10, 15 minutes. All right? Bye. We'll see if this works out. Everything will probably break once we get into it. I'm going to... Hey, we're live again. Okay, cool. All right, hey, everybody. I got it working. We figured out the issues. It is good to go. So I do have Jay and Steve. They're both on. Let me move my camera over to them. Say hello, everybody. They can
Hello.
see.
Hello.
The weird thing is
Hey,
they're
we're in
seeing
stereo.
themselves, so it might be messing them up. So we were just, I've got the Nance out of the pressure pot, and I was going to take it apart real quick. Jay and Steve, there are different versions and stuff for this. I've seen some with adjustment loops here. What other kind of weird things have you seen done with Nance buttons?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, what I wanted to say before when you were making this item, and you were saying how a new technicians, this is a good item to learn on.
Yes.
It's a great item to learn on because it's got everything that we do in
Yes.
one. Did you guys
That's
like
right.
notice that?
Yes.
Like you bend wire, you solder, you do acrylic, you finish acrylic, and you finish like you finish solder joints. So it's like an all-inclusive. I mean, I've always thought about this appliance as being, it's cheap, but it should be so much because it's so much work for such a little
Yes.
item that's got so much, you have so many techniques in there
It goes
in
through
one.
every pathway in an ortholab. It goes through the solder pathway, it goes through the acrylic pathway, acrylic finishing, soldering finishing.
And if you're bad at one of them, it's a bust. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a wire bender and you can't like connect the wire correctly, or your acrylic stinks, or your soldering's bad, or your soldering finishing is bad, but your acrylic's good. There's just so much to this little item that's I've always just kind of found it as kind of like one of those items that should be worth. It's not, because everyone looks at it and goes, "That's just a wire with some acrylic."
Yeah.
Like, no big deal. You know what I'm saying, Jay?
Yeah.
I
Have you
made a
ever
video. Oh, go ahead.
have you ever put springs in a Nance? I've done a few of those.
I've done everything with those.
Yeah.
Like a little spring that goes, to like a lateral they want to push out or something.
Right.
I had a doctor one time just have me put a wire, just a straight wire straight out to one tooth. And I don't know if they were going to bond it or what. It was weird.
I've done, you know, you were asking like, what can you do? I think I've done everything. I've added teeth, added bite planes, added springs, added finger springs, added diastema springs, added like whatever you can possibly think of.
Yeah.
Added thumb habits, you know. So it's a versatile appliance.
Yeah, finishing this is going to be, real easy to do. I'm not even really going to show it. Maybe I'll record it or something. But I think I've recorded it before. But you just kind of clean up your edges around here, smooth it out, make sure it's not too thick, and then clean up your solder joint, and then, pumice the whole thing. Wait, Steve, do you pumice your solder joints? I forgot.
I do.
Okay. And
I
Jay,
do.
You pumice your solder joints, or you do it but with a handpiece?
No, I do a little bit with the handpiece, taper it, and get it ready for pumicing and polishing, and then I pumice it, and then polish it, and like, one step, two step, done, clean it. Ah!
Business is calling. Hey Jay, this is my cheap handpiece.
Sorry about that.
You just had a video I saw today about a
Yeah.
$30 handpiece. This is my my Ram Microlab 350, but it's got that same exact foot pedal where it's on or off, on or off. There's no in between. But
Yeah. That's kind of a nuisance. Did you set
video I think I posted that today about that handpiece I saw on Amazon. It was a complete unit for $130.
Yeah, you just end up using
But
the handpiece portion of it.
yeah, well, it came with the whole kit, but like you said, the foot switch was just on or off. And I like a variable speed
I do too.
rheostat foot switch, but the handpiece had to fit right into my old rheostat unit, and which allowed me to use the foot switch, the foot pedal, with its variable speed. I was kind of afraid of it, so I stood back, turned it on, but it didn't blow up or anything.
That was the funny part of your video. It's like, it had that weird plug from Europe on it, and you were like, I plugged it in and stood back.
Yeah, that plug was odd looking. I mean, I was afraid of the whole thing.
Yeah, but I use this every day, but not for heavy use. But I've just kind of, to taper my speed, I just hit the pedal on and off, on and off, on and off. And
Yeah.
it does a pretty decent job. So this is pretty much all that goes into this. And then you can even use a cheap handpiece. So this is great for, training a technician. Just give them one of your old handpieces. Not your $1,000 handpiece.
Yeah.
I use those like little cheap, like you were saying, that the handpiece is perfect for on the go, like to just like clean up a wire or to round off something.
No, you
It's
froze
just
up.
so cheap that just grab it and go.
Yeah. You put one at each one of your little areas you have in your lab.
Right. I don't know if I would use it to go, but Jay, what's the RPM on it? Does it go up to 30,000 or is it 20,000?
I don't know. It came with a sheet. Let me see if it says. Oh, I've already put it away. Never mind.
That's okay.
All right, well, that's it for the Nance. It's a pretty simple appliance. I think it's a good arrow for any lab's quiver, because you can make this for a pediatric dentist or orthodontist, and it could be a bread and butter for some labs. Some labs make 20 of these a day, and just it's a lot of work, or pretty easy work. But anyway, next week, Steve and I will be interviewing. Let me get my.
Steve and I will be interviewing Elvis and Barbara from Voices from the Bench. So look up on YouTube Voices from the Bench. They are a podcast about the whole dental lab industry. And I've listened to a few. I'm going to try to listen to all. I think they're on 20 something, if I'm not mistaken, or in the 30s?
26.
26? Hey, we're on Wire Wednesday 26 right now. That worked out.
We started before though.
Yeah, I don't go every week like they do, but they have a very professional podcast, audio only. But it'd be great to listen to while you're working. Their first episode featured a dental lab school, and which hit close to home because I went to a dental lab school and really enjoyed going to that.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a fun interview to talk to them, kind of get a feel from different parts of the country about dental technology and the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to interview them. I think it's going to be the first time they're going to be on camera. So we're real excited about that. Jay, did you go to lab school? I can't remember.
No, I went to dental school for a short time, and then I knew I wasn't going to be a dentist, or I decided real quickly I wasn't going to be a dentist. But I had worked for an orthodontist for years and years.
Oh, wow. Everybody's got a unique story about getting into the industry. Steve had an article written up in a magazine about him and his brother and father. I think it was LMT.
Yeah, or I know it was actually your Journal of Dental
JDT,
Technology.
that's right.
JDT.
Yeah, the one that CDT gets for free. Yeah, JDT, Journal of Dental Technology. But There was something else I wanted to talk about. It was one of your videos I watched not too long ago. Steve, what was that last video?
You'd have to tell me which one.
Oh, the X-Acto knife one.
Yes.
I gotta clarify. You were getting 50 blades for
70.
70 blades
72 blades for $10.
for $10.
Can't beat it.
See, I've been using this for a year now, and it's starting to dull on me. But I like the handle on it. But just for cutting acrylic, yeah, that's amazing.
When you can just like grab a new one and throw them away like it's like they're free and just replace it, it's awesome. But no, super cheap.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm going to end it here. You guys stay on. Is there anything else y'all want to say? Jay's released a couple new videos, and I apologize I missed them. I guess I need to turn my notifications on, but just saw your handpiece one. You have one about a intruder, right, Jay?
Yeah, I used that Beta 3 032 spring wire on a holly retainer. They wanted it removable to intrude tooth number 15. So it's about that.
That's cool. I've never seen a coil on the outside of acrylic, so I'm looking forward to watching that. So you can go to Jay's channel, which is OrthoLab Videos. Search for that on YouTube. And then Steve puts one out every Tuesday at noon, right?
Yeah, high noon.
High noon every Tuesday.
Eastern Standard Time.
I don't know how you do it every week, in and out.
I don't know how I do it sometimes too, Cade.
I just now put another one out. So my update is my Patreon account. I have been doing live recording. So when I do a video, a hands-on video like this, I'll do a live recording and show all the different angles, and I can talk to my patrons account, my patrons on there, and then I'll take that recording and then I'll edit it down. So I've actually released my first video of that, which is the spring aligner with helical loops, the super spring. Do y'all call it a super spring if it's got helical loops?
Yes, that's what I call them.
I've seen them called different things, but the long version went out. I think it's like 18 minutes long. I have a 10-minute long one, short version, just if you want to get to the nitty-gritty of the actual bending. So I'm going to start trying to be as good as Steve and get these videos out on a regular basis. Because I got about 4 or 5 live recordings that I've done on my Patreon account that I got to take the raw video now and edit it down to something more manageable. But either way, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Bye, Jay. Bye, Steve. But y'all stay on so we can talk about stuff we can't talk about on live.
We'll see you next week.
All right. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.